Welcome back. You're still tuned in to News and Views with myself, Salai Lomakwidi. The time is 20 minutes past 9 Central African time, and we're going to be switching gears now to a very, very important discussion. There's growing pressure here in South Africa for authorities to take action over alleged atrocities committed in Indian-administered Kashmir and for Prime Minister Narendra Modi to face possible criminal investigation under international law. Human rights groups, activists, and legal experts say the evidence of abuse in Kashmir is extensive, from enforced disappearance and arbitrary detentions to reports of torture and collective punishment. The South African Kashmir Action Group has been one of the loudest voices calling for accountability, and today we speak to its chairman, Salman Khan, about the latest developments, their submissions, and what they expect South African authorities to do as Narendra Modi will be making his way to South Africa for the G20 summit. Mr. Khan, Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah so much for joining us. Welcome to Salam Media.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brother, to you and also to all the beautiful listeners of your radio station.
No, the pleasure is all ours. I think let's jump right into it. If you can give our listeners a bit more context on this dossier, or this Modi docket as it is referenced in the media. What exactly is it, and what is it calling for?
Well, it's calling for South Africa to take its, the legal stance and obligations under the internationally customary law, as well as the Geneva Convention and the Rome Statutes, as well as we invoking the Bill of Rights and Chapter 2 of our Constitution, Section 38A and 39B, and practicing our citizenry law here. And we asking South African government not only take the legal stance but also a moral stance, that it wasn't the international solidarity and the legal framework was applied to the apartheid government, we would have never be in the free and fair South Africa, and the Nelson Mandela could have still be languishing into the jail. So we ask South Africa to respect the internationally customary law and also give the solidarity to the people of Kashmir.
No, most definitely. Let's talk about what could be some of the biggest obstacles to such a prosecution, the one that you guys are calling for. Politically, legally, and diplomatically, we know that South Africa and India enjoy very, very big diplomatic ties. Narendra Modi is a big friend of Cyril Ramaphosa and this current government. Do you see this having any kind of impact, this dossier that you presented, or is it more about making a statement and putting the South African government under pressure to act?
Look, let me distinguish something very important. We have nothing against the India or Indian people. They're all our friends, and we share too much commonality between India and Kashmir than what divide us. What we are against, and I'm sure you and a lot of people will agree, we against the ongoing onslaught under the Mr. Modi regime since 2014, and India has lost its luster of being a biggest democracy and a secular state. Used to be the very pluralistic society. Is no longer the case. The BJP RSS-driven ideology, which persecute not only the Muslims and Kashmiris but also all the minorities. So we are asking Narendra Modi to respect the minorities, respect the religious freedom, respect the integrity, and also reverse back to the Mahatma Gandhi and Nehru, those who agreed on many occasions that the Kashmir issue, Kashmir belong to Kashmiri people and it should be resolved through the United Nations resolution, which has not been respected. And what it is, the irony, during the time of the Modi in 2019, Modi unilaterally and illegally contravening the international law and abrogating the article, their own article 375, 35A, and incorporating by force the territory of 86,000 square kilometer, which is a recognized international dispute, into the Indian Union as their additional province. So we are asking that to be revoked, and also not only that, also to call for a free and fair they decide. And also the South African government, yes, by all means, they should have a very good relationship with the India, but then their economic gain cannot triumph over the human rights issues. I mean, if the England or many other European countries could have seen the diamond and the gold export from South Africa, it could have been triumph over the South African human rights persecution, we could have been sitting in the dark ages of the apartheid. So yes, the economic and diplomatic relation must continue, but on the same time, South Africa have a leverage, and that's why we asked South Africa, because South Africa has been respected by many international communities, especially after the ICT case. South Africa is a very principled democracy. It's a functional democracy and is a respect for the human rights, as rightly so, because this is the land of Nelson Mandela, the human rights champion of the world, like Ahmed Kathrada, Sol Plaatje, and Oliver Tambo. And we cannot allow at any level that the criminal like Prime Minister Modi, who raised from the ashes of Gujarat, and also the massacre of the people in Jammu and Kashmir, should be allowed to walk freely and should not be questioned. Yes, let him come. He set the stage. Let him come to here, and we will go out there in numbers and protest and expose his atrocities and human rights violation and put him into the shame that wherever you go, the shame will continue to follow you.
You've handed, this dossier, this petition, to, the presidency, to South African authorities. Has there been any kind of acknowledgement so far?
Yes, the first of the protocol is that you launch arrest warrant case to the South African, the diplomatic police or South African commissioner of the South African police, which we done. And Methodale, the Captain Methodale from head office has responded to the Yusha Tayyub already and saying we have acknowledged the receipt of the dossier. And of course, we're looking for the directive now from the NDDP and DPCI and NPA to take further action. And of course, it is in the abeyance of Mr. Modi is not here yet. When he landed, by law, automatically he should be handcuffed and put into the jail, because we're asking for the investigation, arrest, and prosecution. And it can only happen when he landed here. According to the international law, that any war criminal, when he traveled to the country where is the ratification of the international conventions like Geneva Convention and the Rome Statute has been signed, and South Africa is the ratifying the party. South Africa have obligation to arrest some of somebody of that nature, and also we have launched a legal case. So it is not something that is we have petitioning. We have launched a legal case with evidence. An evidence-based case has been launched in partnership with the Muslim Lawyer Association and by the South African Kashmiri Action Group.
I want to touch on, the developments on the ground in Kashmir. We hear strong claims of heavy militarization, arrests, disappearances. How would you encapsulate the lived reality for Kashmiris at this current juncture?
Well, it is sad. It's very, very sad. For the last 78 years, the Kashmiri life is completely abnormal. There is a perpetual curfew and martial law. There is no total suspension of human and civil rights. And if you look at it, there is no civil liberties. If you look at the International Declaration on the Human Rights and ICCPR, which is the International Convention on the Political and Civil Rights, that is altogether have almost 60 stipulations. None of them exist, like right to live, right to move, right to freedom of the movement, right to the expression, and those are the basic rights. I mean, internet has been cut off since 2019. The people cannot, go to the mosque to pray. For the last 7 or 8 years, there has never been any Eidgah open on the day of the Eid that people can go. All of the parliament, it is we call it a hang parliament or parliament under arrest. All of our political leaders are behind. During the time of Prime Minister Modi, from 2014 until now, over 30,000 youth has been taken from the home, abducted without any warrant of arrest, and we do not know where they are. And our mass grave has been found by reported into the Journal of Human Rights and Amnesty International. Over 7,000 mass graves has been found, and over 11,000 women have been raped. murder, and many political, the people or the political, our leadership has been tortured on a daily basis. Yasin Malik, Makbul Shah, and many other people. So I think the life is completely abnormal. In 2018, after the demise of Burhan Wani in 2016, there was a two report after 40 years of the silence from the United Nations Human Rights Body, issued a 48 and 58 pages report which asked the Indian government to actually provide unobstructed and unconditional access. India denied it, their access to the Jammu and Kashmir. When we opened a case in 2018, also in 2023, our Hawks and our investigating unit from South Africa has applied visa to go and investigate the crime against the humanity. And I can actually share the letter. The Indian embassy said this is a bilateral issue. This is why our internal issue, and South African investigative team is going to be denied the visa, and we're not going to allow them to go to the Indian occupied Kashmir. So if you continue to call a license to kill, and you continue to play the war game in, and nobody to be interfered, then this is the only time that we can raise a voice and we can actually question Prime Minister Modi that you are coming to glorify yourself and glorify the political party, that you are the saint and you are the one who should be seen as the messiah of the south to south the relationship. And we denouncing your we denouncing your presence in South Africa, and we saying this is the land of human rights champions, and you are not welcome in South Africa.
Very, very powerful statement there. Salman Khan from the South African Kashmir Action Group. We'll continue following the story quite closely, but we're going to leave for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I mean, well, they have it with Indian President Narendra Modi set to arrive for the G20 summit. It looks like pressure is mounting on South Africa to take a principled stand on Kashmir, and the eyes of activists, community leaders, and human rights organizations are firmly on Pretoria. And as I mentioned, we'll continue following these developments in the lead up to the G20 summit and bring you the updates as they unfold. Otherwise, we're going to take a quick break. News and views will continue after this.